The Janine Turner Show. Welcome, Janine. The Janine Turner Show. We have a very wonderful. Wait till you hear about this woman. She is a powerhouse. Wendy Rogers. She's a former Air Force officer, pilot, and now she's a candidate for Congress in Arizona. You are welcome, Wendy. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Janine. It's an honor to be on air with another pilot.
Well, yeah, I played one on TV.
You're an inspiration, though.
Oh, thank you. My dad is an Air Force pilot, however. He's a West Pointer, and back in 58, 57, it was Air Force or Army because they didn't have an Air Force Academy yet. So he flew the B-58 Hustler. Do you remember that? You know of that aircraft?
Yes, and my father's also a West Pointer, class of 44, as was my grandfather, 1918, and my brother and his three sons. So we both descend from a long gray line.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. 1918, did you just say?
My grandfather, yes. And then my father, class of 1944, the D-Day class, and then was shipped overseas just a couple of months later and was a infantry platoon commander in World War II. And my brother, class of 68, and then his three sons as well. Both of my parents are buried at West Point.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. What a lineage. Oh, what a lineage of great Americans. I did not know that. And that is, and then you were in the Air Force as well as an officer. It says pilot here. So did you fly in the Air Force?
Yes, I was actually privileged to be one of the first 100 women pilots in the Air Force. I went through pilot training here in Arizona, out at Williams Air Force Base, which is now Mesa Gateway Airport. Finished pilot training in 1981. My dad and mom came out for that. I was so proud to have them there. And then back then, women in the Air Force could only fly essentially trainers, tankers, or transports. So I was given the C-141 Starlifter, which is a four-engine heavy jet transport, which could carry 200 troops or 13 pallets of cargo or some combination thereof. So I was based in Southern California, my husband and I flew all over Asia, the Pacific, some to Europe, was gone a lot.
Yes.
And my husband was also a career officer in the Air Force. He was an electrical engineer in research and development, so we were able to be assigned together during our 20-year careers.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we had two children along those two careers as well. We had our son George when we were married 9 years, and then our daughter Emily when we were married 12 years, both born, at military installations. Our daughter actually was born at Landstuhl, Germany, where, of course, the troops come after they've been wounded in Afghanistan or Iraq. We were stationed at Ramstein Air Base for 8 years there.
Wow. So who took care of the kids when both of you were off doing your duty?
When we were in Germany, we were really blessed to have a German family where we would leave the children. So the children grew up as native speakers of German. And then when I retired, Emily was 6 and George was 9, and we moved here back to Arizona, and I homeschooled them through the 6th grade and would hire actual Germans. They wouldn't speak to anyone who said they took German in college. They would only speak to Germans.
Your kids?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mommy, they're not really speaking German. I know, dear. Okay, I'll get you.
Oh, my gosh.
So I would hire grad students who were German, who were going to Arizona State, and they would come over to the house and work with my kids. So they both kept their fluency, and now George is 26 and an electrical engineer completing his PhD, and has served as a Marine officer. So he's the 6th generation of career officer in our lineage. And our daughter Emily, 23, runs the business office for our home inspection business. We have a small business that we've owned for 17 years here in the district. So I've been a job creator for 17 years, created scores of jobs, and we have our own office complex.
And now, listen, your story is just so amazing, and we only have a couple minutes left. You'll have to come back on because I just love hearing you talk. But now, it's interesting. There was a study out that I talked about earlier in the week, and it talked about the fact that kids these days, they've polled 4,500 kids, and only like 3% want to have anything to do with politics. And that's very concerning, because we need people like you who are just heroes, American heroes, have just dedicated so much of your life as well as the history and lineage of your family to serve and protect our liberties and protect our Constitution. We need people like you in office. So I'm so encouraged that you're taking this leap. Tell us about your district in Arizona, how we can help you, and what made you decide, and we only have about 3 minutes left here, what made you decide to make the leap? Because it's a big leap, and I thank you for doing it.
Well, my website is wendyrogers.org, WENDYROGERS.org, wendyrogers.org. And I chose to run because I want to serve my country. And as you said, there is kind of a lack of awareness now, but also a frustration and a powerlessness amongst the people in my district. I've ridden my bicycle to knock on 13,000 doors.
Wow.
I have met that many people on their doorsteps and listened. And there is a feeling that Washington is detached from the everyday. This is a congressional district that's a new seat in Arizona, and it's only now being held for the first time by a pretty left-of-center Democrat woman who really does not represent a moderate suburban Phoenix district, which is a third Republican, a third Democrat, and a third independent. So I will bring a voice of someone who has had to sign the front of a paycheck, someone who has raised a family and who has grandchildren and who is genuinely worried for the future of her grandchildren, and one who has had service to country arguably in her DNA now for 5 generations going back to the Civil War. And I promised my father last year as we were losing him, the day I decided to run, I said, Dad, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm your only daughter, and I am going to honor you and honor your legacy of service to our country with this campaign for the United States Congress.
Oh, I have tears in my eyes. That's so wonderful. So, and I'm looking at your video right now at Wendy Rogers. By the way, we have a lot of Rogers in our family. By the way, we might be related. We don't even know it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But your video here is, you know what? I was just struck by something, Wendy, as I'm watching your video here on your website, wendyrogers.org. You want to know what I was just struck with?
What's that?
I think you're going to be our president. You just have an amazing quality. People need to get to know you. You go work. You're going to win. You're going to get in the House. And then I just have a sense about you. I've never said anything like that before, but I'm watching you going, wow, there's an earnestness and an honesty about you. And when you couple that with the fact that your incredible dedication to America and having served our country militarily and a business owner and the wonderful person that you are, but you have such a wonderful smile and just a real honesty about you. And that's what we need in America. I don't know. I have a really good feeling about you, Wendy Rogers.
Well, Janine, you're very gracious, and I can't thank you enough. My star volunteer, Constance Rossman, is the one who sought to reach out to you on my behalf, and she texted me this morning and said, "This is incredible that I'm getting my 2 favorite people together on the radio," and she's a woman of faith whose father has been a pillar in the faith community here, and I feel a deep and abiding personal responsibility in running for this seat because, again, we people who have values, who believe in America, and who have optimism for the future, it is our voice that needs to be heard and needs to show leadership and conviction. Americans are a wonderfully resilient people. As long as they know they have skin in the game and can have some control, and they want to be led, they want to believe, even if it's a contrary opinion, backbone and conviction are very much needed in Congress today.
Yes, well, I agree with you there, and I've got a wrap here, but I'm just so impressed with you, Wendy Rogers, and I thank you for coming on the show today. And I'm just going to continue to promote. I hope you'll come back on and promote. And so, when is the primary? What's going on? What are the dates here?
We have a very late primary in Arizona. It's in August of 2014, and of course, the general election for everyone is in November. So I am working very vigorously to try to fundraise now. Early money speaks loudest.
Okay,
so
great.
If
And you've
listeners out there can go to wendyrogers.org and support me, I would be so grateful.
We need to do that. I'm going to do that today. And I just hit your contribute button. It's really easy to do. And we will do that, Wendy Rogers. And thank you so much. And I'm going to promote, and come back on the show so we can do anything we can to help you. And thank you for your amazing service to our country as a family, and just awesome. Thank you.
God bless you, Janine. Merry Christmas.
You too. Merry Christmas to you too. Okay, talk to you soon, Wendy Rogers. And you can go to Wendy Rogers. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Go to wendyrogers.org. What a powerhouse. We need to support Wendy Rogers. Very excited about her. You watch this video and see if you feel the same way I feel. It's just that we need someone like her to be the helm. Maybe she'll be our first female president. Yeah, I would certainly much rather Wendy Rogers than Hillary Clinton. Yeah.